Okay, we're live.
Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to the Week 10 cast assessment for Big Brother Pasio. Kat won HOH. She nominated Owen and Kaylee. Owen won the veto, saved himself, and Monty was the replacement nominee. The live night is about in 5 hours. Um, so so this week kind of a mess. What do we think? I guess let's not ask what we thought of the week first, because it was kind of a mess, but
Mhm.
um, so essentially, just to give context, so half of the house thought Johnny was going up as the replacement nominee, and those people were obviously the Kaylee, Owen, Arya, Yusuf group, and then
Mhm.
the Johnny, Lucas, Monty, Nathan group thought that either Arya or maybe Yusuf were going up. So it was really shocking, I think, to everyone except for one person that
Uh-huh.
Monty went up on the block, and that person was Renee.
Mhm.
Um, so do we think this was a good move on Renee's part to convince Kat to put up Monty?
I think for Renee, it's pretty good, but I don't think it was good for Kat in the slightest.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I
I
think no. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I disagree. You can elaborate. No rebuttal. Hello.
Hmm.
Wait, I
You
didn't
can
hear what you said.
elaborate. You can elaborate, and I can rebuttal.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel like it opens up an opportunity for Renee to kind of just play more the middle and get in really good with Johnny because I feel like I don't know. I feel like putting Johnny up would have been such a bad move because that's the target on the other side. Like that's who everyone on the other side wants out. And once Johnny is gone, they have no shield and they honestly Renee is a past winner. Like she could be such an easy target. So, keeping Johnny in the game and getting somebody out that was honestly probably would have went to the end if this didn't happen. It kind of opens up a pathway for Renee to have a shield and be able to make it through the live night like untouched.
Mhm.
Hmm.
What I would say
Yeah.
quickly before Randy, because Randy's is a bit longer, I would say just really quickly, it's good for Renee, and if it had been executed differently, would have been good for Kat, is my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. It's a good move for Kat. It could have been better handled, in my opinion. She could have been more transparent. But I was on call yesterday with the alliance of Lucas, what's their faces, Lucas, Johnny, and Monty, and they wanted Kat out in the live night. So for Kat to really kind of throw the first punch, it's kind of I think it's good. I don't think Kat
Hmm.
knows that they're going for her, but this is a good move. I just don't. But
Yeah.
I don't think Kat knows it's a good move for the right reasons.
Yeah,
But
I think it's good that she didn't pick a side or make any side happy. She did what her and Renee, who are two people who aren't really anywhere, wanted, which I think is really good. I just wish she told people that's what she was gonna do instead of
Mhm.
telling everybody a different thing.
yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I think honestly, when it first happened, I was like, oh yeah, it's such a good move to get Johnny out because Johnny's gunning for mostly Kat and also Renee. But I do think that you brought up a valid point that once Johnny's gone, the Kaylee, Arya, Yusuf side doesn't really have like a public enemy to go after because Lucas and Nathan are less threatening and a little bit more well liked. So
Mhm.
I think it was really smart for Kat not because I just think this was a really bad HOH to win, first of all.
Mhm.
Um, but she didn't have many options for a renom. It was literally people were pushing Arya, which she wasn't gonna do. People were pushing Yusuf, which she wasn't going to do. People were
Mhm.
pushing Johnny and Monty, which were her two options. And I think Monty was the smarter choice, but her execution, like you guys said, was completely wrong. I do think
Mhm.
that for Renee's game though, Monty going is amazing because
Mhm.
he's the only person left who's nominated her before. So, and you know that if he came into power, she's just such an easy person for him to nominate.
Mhm.
And something else that Renee said in one of her DRs that I think was really, really smart is the fact that she wants to get her and Kat, or at least herself, to work with Kaylee, Owen, Yusuf, Arya, because they're going to alter the perception of the jury when they get evicted, that group of people, because
Mhm.
Jules, Kate, that whole group, now Monty, they're all probably going to vote together based off of who, gave their side a chance and didn't just pick them off. And so I think it's really, really smart for her to align with them to the point where, like, she takes them further into the game and doesn't just shut them out, but, like, obviously doesn't take them to the end because, like, you're not going to beat one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also did want to say that, like, it was funny watching Renee's video DR because so like some context, so after the Monty renom happened, like 1 minute before the decision was due, we were all just like, and I think everyone in the game was just like, what? Like, literally, what? And so, like, then we checked the DRs and we saw Renee had a DR from earlier that day where she was sitting in the sunlight, so it was clearly like the morning, sipping her coffee, being like, I'm gonna get Monty out this week, and here's why. And so it's like kind of like funny to see because Arya definitely like played a role in like keeping herself safe, but like because the whole time we were like, oh, Arya got Johnny up on the block like her mist, and then it was Renee. Like, she was the one who pulled the strings, and I think she did it without even going on a call, which is kind of iconic.
Yeah. And also, I think Johnny going wouldn't have been that good for Arya, honestly. Yeah. So maybe I think this is like the better thing for her because, like, I don't know, even if she does get exposed that she was the one who, like, pushed for it, she could just use the excuse that, like, she was just trying to save herself or, like, that, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And, like, Johnny obviously has bigger fish to fry than going after Arya. So, like...
Yeah. I think... So, like, what happened was Arya leaked to Kat that Johnny and the boys, being Lucas, Monty, Nathan, to some extent, were all going to come after Kat in the live night, which was true and valid. And I think that her doing that, like, really kind of helped Kat because it gave Kat a legitimate reason to, like, target them. And I also think that, like, now, the way that the game's going, there's gonna be, like, two sides going after each other, and I think Kat and Renee, mostly Renee, is going to be sitting pretty, and I think Kaylee's going to be sitting pretty now, too. Because now it's, like, Johnny and all of them, like Johnny, Monty, Lucas, Nathan, that group, like, they have so many people now that they have to worry about. It's not just, like, oh, we're in a good position, so we can throw up Kaylee and Owen and then backdoor someone. It's like, they have to take out people who are actively coming for them, you know? Like, the game flipped on its head. Like, so quick.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. The, like, I don't know, like, for, like, the straight face, it seemed like, Kaylee's side's been more of, like, the underdog in the way. But, like, now they're back to, like, being back in the position of power as they were in the early pre-jury. So it's just, like, so interesting to see this, like, constant shift of power. And it's every week. It's just so much.
Yeah.
Also, I think Johnny's just realised that, like, Arya is why it happened. Like, he's just clocked.
Yeah. And that took, like, almost a full day. So...
I think
yeah. I don't know. I think Arya's yet again just making moves, like, without, like, we said, like, Monty, and also, like, I have to say I'm shocked that Monty's probably, unless the ticket's strong, like, going to go 10th, like, that's kind of shocking to me. But I think it goes to show that, like, even though, like, we may say on a cast assessment, like, oh, this person's, like, a winner pick, like, they're definitely safe, it's like, shit in this game flips so quickly that, like, next week, Renee could be on the bottom and sitting in a really bad position. And you just never know.
Yeah. Because it was the same with Kate. We were like, oh, Kate, missed and Queen, getting back in the gamers, and then she went home. And it's the same with Monty, and it's the same with Emily. We were like, oh, Emily, biggest brain, got rid of Jules, Emily went home. Like, it's every week. It's like
the same thing happened with Jules, too.
Yeah, it's like every player has their own agenda, and I feel like sometimes we generalize them into groups. But, like, what Kaylee is going to do is always going to be different from Owen. What Johnny's gonna do is gonna be different from Lucas, and it just
And I have to say that, like, I have to give some credit to Kaylee this week because she did cut a deal with Kat and she did cut a deal with Renee, and that's definitely factoring in to why people are more comfortable with her in the house. I think part of it too is the fact that she's been up so many times, so people feel like she's like a wounded animal, like she can't really do that much. But I think now it's like she really proved that she's like a survivor in the game and playing from the bottom underdog position. And I think Owen too, like winning vetoes and stuff, like that definitely adds to his resume, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I also think Yusuf is in a really good position. We haven't really
I
talked
know.
about him, but he had kind of a messy, bad HOH. But like he cut deals with the right people, and like some of it sure was luck of who won competitions. But like
Mm,
he's coming into this live night with like no one really gunning for him that much. Like maybe he could touch the block, but I don't really see him going. Like he's not like
mhm.
target number one.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Yusuf being a kind of range of like fifth to seventh place, where like his allies turn on him at this point
Yeah.
because Arya, Kaylee, Owen are a closer call now without him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting because on the call they were like, "Oh yeah, we can't trust Yusuf because he's like clearly working with like Kat and Johnny and has cut deals with them." When Arya literally, and they were like, "Yusuf's never been nominated, so he can't be trusted." And Arya literally did all of those things, but her mist is just so strong that everyone thinks that she's on their side, and she
Yeah.
continues to get caught, and then she's fine. Like nothing
Yeah.
happens to her.
Yeah, I definitely think it has something to do with her just being a 15-year-old girl. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, if Yusuf was doing this kind of shit, like, he would have gotten caught so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
because
about
the way like the way like Kaylee was like yesterday, oh, the child has saved me. Like they consider Arya this like child prodigy, which she is because she's very talented and very clever and a good player. But it's also like open your eyes, like she's going to be the child that beats you at the end unless you do something.
Yeah, it's just so crazy because like you think like once you think that Arya is back to the corner with no way to get out, she slips through every time.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Every
Yeah, and I think the reason why this season has been really like dynamic is partially because of players like Arya and Kat and Renee and Yusuf like flipping sides and jumping around and like being chaotic. I guess Monty too. Like no one's really I guess everyone left has been like cutting deals with each other besides like Kaylee and Owen until recently. Like everyone's been like
Mm-hmm.
jumping around, like being shifty. Like it's not like there's certain groups that have been there since week one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like this was chaotic. Like Kat calling people crying, like in that 1 hour, like I think she called almost everyone in the cast crying, saying she was gonna do something different. And then she did something different than everyone expected her to. And I think I worry for her that like she kind of just cemented herself as like either a target that's going to get out next round or the round after, or like I feel like she's in a position where it's like everyone in the game's gonna see her as a threat to win and that she's like really powerful, but then everyone in jury's gonna hate her. And so it's like the worst of both worlds for her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just
But,
crazy.
yeah. Like and then now she's running around saying that she wants Monty to stay, but I don't know if that's just her telling people what they want to hear or if that's legitimate. Like you just never know with Kat. Like she's such a wild card.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be like, oh, I want to play Mom. I think she knows she's gonna leave, but like then like push all the blame onto Arya so she can save her own ass.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting to me how like she learned all of this about like she really got all the tea from both sides and like
Mhm.
she's kind of sitting on it when it comes to um like I feel like she exposed her hand to like Arya, Owen, Kaylee, Yusuf, but then kind of kept her cards closer to her chest when it came to like Arya exposing the Johnny situation. So like
Mhm.
that's kind of interesting to me because I would have thought that she would like expose it to both and be like, "This is why I did what I did," you know.
Mhm.
But
I think the other thing to talk about from yesterday is not as gamey, but Nathan a bit. Just Nathan, everyone's perception of Nathan in this game is so bad. Like, I think everyone just thinks he is the weakest link, unfortunately. And I
Yeah.
think, though I do think he could get cut in the next couple rounds, I also think people are going to start really eyeing him up as a good final two option.
Yeah, he really has runner-up energy. Like everyone kind of like, and it sounds mean to say this, but everyone kind of thinks he's a joke, you know?
Yeah, it's kind
Mhm.
of sad though because I feel like he's actually playing like pretty well. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know.
I agree.
that's what makes me sad because it's like he actually isn't doing a bad job. He's
Mhm.
just like kind of a clown. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like
Mhm.
it's just who he is. Like, I don't know. If he was like a different person, then like he probably could have a lot
yeah.
more credibility, which is like
Yeah, we
Mhm.
sad.
said this a long time ago, but it's just like his perception in the community, I guess, is just like the Demi Lovato lip sync, like getting tricked by Quill and Trix. Like it's just like not like he just I don't know, but
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I
yeah,
think that's a kind of, I don't know, like I feel like he could leave at any point in the game. He has like nothing cemented, but like we see like every juror like they leave not really liking Nathan, but like as they're on jury and Nathan like sends his goodbyes, they start to like him. So I
yeah.
feel like he's gonna like look like an easy person to beat, but once he gets to the final two, it might be entirely
Yeah,
Next to
different
someone
honestly,
like Kat or like Johnny, like
I
I feel
feel
like
like
he'd easily,
he could win against
easily.
somebody that like if they're really really bitter, because he's just
Yeah.
like likable and fun.
Mhm.
But I definitely think
Yeah.
it would be a close vote.
Yeah, I will say though the one thing I don't respect about his game is how in the house chat he knows that the jurors can see it, and he'll be like missing Kate, missing Jules, and
Mhm.
it's like
Okay, but the jurors
like, you
fall for it.
yeah, and
Mhm.
that's what's annoying is that like he voted them out and got them out and was happy that they were leaving, and then acts like I think he plays it up for the VL a little bit too, and I just like
Yeah.
I don't like that about Nathan. I'll be honest,
Mhm.
but like I also don't like that they fall for it, and that like
Yeah.
basically if you speak good, and I don't mean this as an insult to like Jules or Kate, but like if you say something good about them, they're like, yeah, like I love Nathan, and it's like he got you out like the same way that like Kat and all of the rest did, and like what?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I think he's a little bit smarter than like what we give him because he knows that they're like gonna love like the ego version.
Mhm.
Like he's hustling for those votes. Like I can't complain about it. Like
Yeah,
if they,
I
yeah, like he's
I
doing
think
it.
it's cheap, but like I can't. Yeah, I think I can't get mad because it's working. Like it shouldn't work. I think that's why I'm mad because like that shouldn't work. Like they should be like ugh,
Yeah, I
but they're
think
not.
Nathan just really needs an HOH and a good one. Like he just needs to prove
Yeah.
himself. Because also everyone's like, "Oh, flight twist is over, so Nathan can't
Yeah.
keep doing flight." Like they keep saying that, so he needs to just win something.
Yeah. I feel like people are not gonna respect that at the end of
Mm.
the day because it's like there were so many competitions that he did flight on. Like him and
Mm.
well Lucas not so much, but like Nathan, I think he did flight every time
Mm.
Yeah.
almost. I forgot.
Yeah.
Wait, go ahead.
I was just say last thing about Nathan is it's interesting that to some extent Nathan's legacy in the series is having more of an impact on him than the winners, which is strange.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very
Yeah.
good like thing to think about. Like how do these people's previous seasons like really hasn't really affected their perception except for like the winners and Nathan.
Yeah, and I think the funny thing about Renee is that people said literally, I remember Jules literally made a rant in their GR like week 2 and was like, all Renee does is like pop off when she's nominated, win a veto, and then she'll like win a comp, make a move, and then sit low and then get like under the radar until jury. And that's literally what Renee did in this game. And like
Mm.
it's working. Like I
Mhm.
cannot like she might be a one trick pony, but she's getting ribbons. Like
Yeah,
mhm.
somebody said, I forget who it was, but they were like, it was pretty recently, and they were like, Renee is playing exactly how like everybody said she was gonna play. And it's like, I don't know why people aren't like picking up on it,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. I think, honestly, I feel like it works out really well. Like, she did
Mhm.
really good in her first season and then won her second one, so like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's just like proving why she's like one of the players that like is just always going to be known as like a legend, as cringy as that sounds.
Mhm.
Like she's just one of those people, you know?
Yeah, like,
Like
she's honestly like genuinely iconic. like the things that she does.
Yeah, like this week was like a prime example of how she was able to like manipulate a situation to get her way and then have no blood on it. Like she's
Mhm.
literally like an assassin. Like no one, her name is in no one's mouth.
Yup.
And like I don't know, and it's kind of just like how she did it in Sinnoh, how she literally backdoored her ally and then just blamed it on Sydney, and then Sydney was the one who got the beef for it, even though like Renee was the one who did it. You know, like I don't know, I don't know why people like don't like see her. You know.
I think
Yeah.
it's mostly because of like the Kaylee versus Johnny type of narrative. Like those two being in the house still is going to is such like an overbearing thing that like, allows games like Renee's, allows games like Arya's to really thrive.
For sure.
Because they're too busy looking at each other that like they're like people to just like dance circles around them essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think too, something else that I wish people were more perceptive about. So, my dumbass accidentally left the reactions on in the ceremonies, and the jury was like reacting, which also like was kind of dumb on their part to react so like strongly to like
Yeah.
the noms being bad, because that proves that Kat put up people who the jury likes, which is a good thing to do usually. And they're like, boo to the noms. I think that's what they wrote. And it's like, no one in the game was like questioning that, like, yeah, the jury loves Kaylee and Owen. Like, maybe one of them should go soon. And like adding that as another reason to target them. Even though I guess Renee did say that the jury loves Kaylee and Owen, so that's why she wants to work with them. So like, I guess she like acknowledged it.
Yeah.
But
Honestly, I feel like it's getting to a point in the game where like you need to have those threats around, cuz like it's only final 10. Like I don't know, I would think that it's so much later into the game, but it's like you know that Owen or Kaylee like they're going to go eventually, you know? Like that's just like cuz there's such big jury threats.
Yeah. And that's why I really think like that's what Renee needs. She needs like someone like those jury threats to be so big that they have to be taken out late game, so she can slide by. And she needs Johnny because he's going to be the person to take out those jury threats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
well, it's kind of interesting too, because like Monty, Arya, Nathan, Lucas, like they all kind of are playing the same kind of like middle game. Like they're not like enemies with anyone. They're also kind of like bouncing back and forth. They're never the people. I mean, none of them. Well, Lucas has been nominated, but like they're not frequently nominated players because they're good at bouncing back and forth. I guess Yusuf too. And so I think it's really smart of Kat to get out Monty, because that gets out someone who's just going to run back and forth, like isn't really ever going to be an enemy of anyone, like never going to be a huge target. Like it kind of isn't a waste of an HOH, whereas like Kaylee or Owen going is kind of a waste of an HOH at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, do they know that Monty was the one who linked their alliance?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, I don't know, but that's kind of karma.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't know. It's either a coincidence or like I don't know. It's like coming back to finally bite Monty.
Yeah, because what I said also is like, if Monty was against Lucas, Nathan, or Johnny, he would have like any of his allies. He would have stayed. The only situation where he goes is when he's up against someone like Kaylee, who is so decisively on a certain side. Like,
Yeah. And it's really like Kat and Renee controlled this entire week from start to finish, because either side needs Renee's vote to keep who they want, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like Kat obviously controlled the noms with Renee's help. So like this was their week and this was their move to get out Monty. You know?
And I think they snapped. Like
I think
it
they
honestly really
did.
set them up.
I think people kind of underestimated them. Like it was like, oh, it's just Kat and Renee. Like I think it's also kind of funny that like Johnny was in like, okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is how Kat, when she first won, she called the disposables, was like, oh, just sit back, like, enjoy the week, none of you are going up, which she did honor.
Mhm.
And she was like, just work on your social bonds. And then literally right after that, Johnny calls us the Lucas Monty him alliance, and it's like, okay, so we gotta plan for the triple, we gotta get Kat out, like, she's gotta go. And then Kat said, she put up Monty.
Mhm.
So, like, it's kind of funny how that works, you know?
For sure. I don't know why Johnny is going after Kat rather than Kaylee,
Yeah.
but that's another story. Like, I don't know.
I think he was reliant on and assuming that Kaylee was going this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was on the call and he was like, if Kaylee's not gone, like he says he's forced to nominate Owen and Kaylee in the life night.
Oh, yeah, then this is honestly, like, way better for Kat than I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She just executed it really poorly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the execution on this ooh, was so bad. Like, I don't think we've seen something so, like, it makes for such good TV, though, but, like,
Mhm.
it was just so funny that, like, Yusuf, Arya, Owen, Kaylee were, like, on a call being like, oh, Johnny's gone, 2 minutes. And then Kaylee was like, someone tell me his reaction, I'm driving. And then I posted it and they were like, oh. They're like, Monty? What?
Mhm.
No, it was
So
just,
I don't know. I think it's like on a game level it's one thing, but like just on like a interesting, fun, entertaining level it's something else. You know?
Mhm. Well, two things I wanted to say. One, this kind of reminds me of ish. It's not quite the same. When Trent went home, it's someone who is kind of in the middle, kind of fine, and then kind of ends up on the block half by fluke and then goes like
Yeah.
kind of
I
energy.
agree.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's
For
like how
sure.
they were all like Anna Jane's going up, like a big player, and then they were like, Trent.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And-
And I wait, go ahead, sorry, Allie.
And the other thing was that, like, I feel like for lots of live nights, it's been kind of predictable. Like, in Ore, Bryce and Ashvika going, you could have, like, seen a mile off. Like, Alyssa going and Galar, like, yeah, kind of was the natural follow through from Nora going. But with this one, everyone's in jeopardy except for Renee, which is crazy.
Yeah, I literally have no idea who's gonna go. And usually me and Nicholas like predict like what's gonna
Yeah, we
happen.
literally are like, so those persons. I think in Ori we literally said we were like Bryce round 1, Ashvika round 2,
Yeah.
or vice versa. I don't know. I think like if you guys had to predict the two people, like not counting Monty in the extended stay, like who would be the two?
Huh.
Oh,
Johnny and Yusuf.
I think.
I think Nathan and Kat.
I think Johnny will be the last one to go of the triple, and the round. I think he'll be HOH and then go for Johnny. I see that for him.
I can see it.
Johnny and Yusuf. I think Randy already said that, but I'll just steal it.
It's
Julia.
I think. Let me look at the cast.
She's like, pull it up.
Honestly, I think Kaylee's gonna go in the first one, and then Johnny's gonna go in the second one.
I see that.
That's TM.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like we could all be wrong. Like I literally don't know. Like
Yeah, like it's just the game's too like it's too volatile, too crazy. Like we don't know what's gonna happen.
which is good. Like
Yeah.
I love that because usually it's so like predictable, not in a bad way, but just like it's like where's the like at least in Rancy it was like where's the flavor? Like we just know who's going to go. But with this it's like emotions are running like the triple could not have been at a better time because emotions are running so high. Like the probability of an extended stay ticket is so high. Like anything could happen.
And everyone's got a live comps too. We have Renee, we
Yeah,
have
I don't
Johnny, we
think
have
that
Yusuf.
there's like, yeah, like, I know like Yusuf, Owen's probably good, Kaylee's good at live comps, Johnny's good at live comps, Kat's
Renee.
good at like literally all these people are good at live comps besides maybe like Nathan and Arya, like.
Yeah, it's not gonna
So,
be
and
like
I won't write them off either, but like, So
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know.
Oh my gosh, I keep on thinking of it, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like Ori and Galar, where like I just won every comp and then it's like, oh, then one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
like
a lot of the
anyone.
times, like you said, like someone wins HOH and Power of Veto one of the weeks, and then they win the Power of Veto the other week, and it's like they just steamroll. But I don't know if that's gonna happen this time, especially with Monty gone. If he doesn't get extended stay, I think that's gonna change a lot for this live night.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a good week. Like very fun, interesting. Like the call last night was fun too. I guess did we talk about that? I don't remember. But the Nathan got drunk. There was a house call. Yusuf and Monty pretended to be each other on the house call. I don't remember. Maybe we did. Oh well, I'll say it again if we didn't. But then Nathan and his boyfriend were there, and they were talking about Yusuf. And Yusuf was like, "Oh, do you like me?" And Nathan was like, "Oh, I love you, Yusuf." And then Nathan's boyfriend was like, "No, you don't." And Yusuf heard that, and it's like really funny and messy, and just like fun. I guess like fun, messy drama for a change instead of like crazy, like annoying stuff. So like I don't know. It's kind of cool because I feel like the vibe in the game has completely changed now. Where like Kaylee and Owen are no longer like, I hate it here. I want to walk. I don't want to be here because like they finally have a chance. You know?
For sure.
Yeah. It just feels like one of those like older days of Ori. It's very refreshing to
It
see.
really does. It's rare because usually games at this point like are really boring. Not like boring, but like jury phase is usually like the least interesting. It's usually pre-jury that's the most wild. But like this is really like wild.
Like stuff just keeps happening. Like Kate picking Yusuf a veto and then Yusuf not vetoing her this week. There was about 10 different things. Like just good TV keeps happening.
Yeah, that feels like 10 years ago. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, okay, so now that Monty's gone and my second winner pick is gone, probably, unless he gets the round trip. Who was yours, Julia? Who was your round?
I think I said Renee.
Okay. Did anyone else say Monty, or was that just me?
I changed mine to Emily, and then she went immediately.
Yeah, I think I said I said Emily, and then I said Renee.
I have Lucas.
Okay. Huh.
God, literally both time I said Eve and then Emily, and they both left immediately.
I don't know who. Like, there's so many people I feel like could win. So I don't know what mine would be now. I feel like it's unfair to pick one this late, but it's interesting. Well, I guess that's about it, unless anyone else has anything to add.
Hold on, I'm playing multitask.
Okay, we'll keep talking.
Yeah, talk for like a few more minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. So
I guess one other thing that you pointed out just to fill the last minute is about how there's more returnees left than newbies if Monty goes.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Like that's crazy as well, considering how volatile the returnees have been.
Yeah. And considering just like the history, like of the series, like the fact that almost every time, aside from the Kalos winners that returnees have been in, they've all made it very deep in the game. There's never been a season where like, aside from Kalos, where the newbies were able to like gang up on the returnees.
Yeah, no, I really like this season just because, like, you can't, like, really... Hold on, what was I gonna say? This game's real intense. Like, yeah, like, it's not like how it's, like, Ore, or, like, whatever, where, like, people just, like, go back to back to back. Like, it's a mix of, like, newbies, returnees, like, everyone's just, like, having a good time, you know? Y'all, I beat my high score.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up. I'm sure we'll do something to recap whatever shit happens in the live night.
Oh, the way
I
I'm
just
eating this
know,
up.
like, if I can make a prediction, I feel like someone's gonna have like a crying breakdown. I don't know who,
Yep.
but like someone's just gonna like go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be Kat. Kat's gonna cry, but not because she's evicted, because someone else.
Yeah, I feel
Oh.
like Kat or Kaylee. Like, there's gonna be tears, and it's gonna come from one of them, or even Johnny.
Oh no.
I'm not hoping for that, by the way. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe Nathan. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I
We
see
have
it.
a lot of crybabies.
I see it from
There's
everyone
so
who
many
says.
options. It's kind of like Biggest Clown. I don't know who's gonna get it. Like, I feel like we
Yeah,
shouldn't give
literally
it. This is
too.
like premature, but like I feel like we shouldn't give it to someone who's already gotten it. But like, there's so many options.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's a mess, but everyone's playing good at the same time.
Yeah, it's
Fun.
fun. It's a good mess. So.
Okay, I'm done, so we can end it.
All right.
Okay.
Adios.
Well, goodbye.
Adios.